ladies and gentlemen. This is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and a Supreme Court decision could set the stage for all future elections, and this is really, really damaging to Democrats. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. And when I tell you this story, I'm going to have a question for you that I want you to answer in the comments, so please stay tuned. But the Supreme Court is handling a case this session that could decide really the crux of the Voting Rights Act. And here's what it is. It's building on the majority-minority districts. This means that if you're in a state and that state has to create at least one district that is majority-minority. Now, it could be the weirdest shape of a district you ever seen, but it has to be mostly people of color. That's what it means. And in general terms, this is usually a mainly black community. Now, my question is, hopefully the Supreme Court strikes this down, because I think it's unconstitutional, and I think it's actually an affront to democracy. My question is, why should one group of people hold a disproportionate amount of power? In other words, why should there be a black vote in every state that decides at least one representative on its own? Why should that be a thing? Now, I understand why it was a thing in the 1960s when it was created. Absolutely understand it. But this is 2025. And all I see now is an advantage for Democrats. Every human being should have the same voice and the same vote. And it shouldn't be based on the color of your skin. It should just be based on you're a human being who has a vote. Well, if the Supreme Court strikes this down, you could see as many as 19 new districts that will switch from Democrat to Republican. And that tells you that Democrats have been artificially holding on to power with this provision in the Voting Rights Act, in my opinion. I want you to listen to this story. They, of course, skew left on it. But I want you to listen to it. Think about my question and let me know what you think in the comments.
Right away tomorrow, we're going to have a big one, and then later this month and through the next couple months. Let's just start with what's going to be on the calendar tomorrow for them. One, testing state bans on what's known as conversion therapy. Colorado has prohibited licensed healthcare providers, counselors, from engaging in what people call conversion therapy. That's the practice of trying to encourage LGBTQ teens to change their sexual orientation or gender identity. And Colorado, like about 20 other states, thinks this is a dangerous practice and has tried to outlaw it. A counselor is challenging it. She says she describes herself as a Christian who wants to engage in a kind of talk therapy, and she's challenging it as a violation of her free speech rights. So that's coming tomorrow. And, you know, these cases involving trans rights are just so important these days. And then next week, the justices will take up a case involving the landmark 1965 Voting Rights Act. And they're going to be looking at what happens when states draw congressional districts, maps, redistricting, that dilute the power of blacks and Hispanics. Can there be a remedy that then requires the states to draw what we call majority-minority districts, consolidating blacks or Hispanics to give them a greater chance to elect candidates of their choice? And then finally, I do want to mention some of the Trump ones coming in the next couple months, over Trump's tariff policy and over his effort to fire so many heads of independent agencies. His executive powers are going to be tested, and what we'll probably know in a couple months is just how much he will be able to control the Federal Reserve, whereas, he's been trying to pressure them on interest rates.
Yeah, one of many aspects of executive power that is up for debate. Joe Moskubik, thank you so much.
Sure.